Well, good to have you with us. It's 2:45. I'm Gareth Edwards. Dan Moyane is away for today's edition of the show. It's no laughing matter, I'm afraid. A tiger has escaped from a property in the Walkerville area. Now, Walkerville is Johannesburg South. Residents urged to be on the lookout and not to approach this tiger, as obviously you'd expect. It's a wild animal, will be aggressive and attack without provocation. Let's try and get the thoughts then of Douglas Wolhuter from the Wildlife Protection Unit. Hello to you, Douglas. Appreciate your time while the search is ongoing. I don't imagine a bowl of milk and catnip is what we're going to do to try and get Kitty back here. How do we go about catching a tiger on the loose in the urban centre?
Afternoon, Gareth and viewers. Yeah, it's a little bit different to a kitten. Obviously, putting out baited meat, which has been tried at the enclosure where she came from. But right now, I think you've got to consider public safety and safety of people's property. So the ideal situation would be to find her, to dart her, and then get her to an NSPCA accredited sanctuary. But failing that, unfortunately, the only other resolution is a sad one for her, as she could quite possibly be shot.
And we obviously don't want that, but I understand people could panic. Somebody with a firearm could panic and end up killing the poor animal, which really shouldn't have been in this situation in the first place. We were covering this morning when I was doing the South African morning. What does the search entail? I'm imagining we have officers on the ground. Do we have helicopters in the air? Do we have drones? What does the search look like?
Yeah, Gareth, there's helicopter up that's been going around searching for the animal. There's teams on the ground. Our teams were out yesterday with the Vereniging and Van der Bijl SPCA. Yeah, so it's just a concerted man effort to try and find this poor tigress before any other harm comes to her or to any other animal. Yeah, so it's a really tough one because, as we understand as well, there is a man that was mauled by her, and he's in ICU currently. Sure. So the situation is pretty dire.
Yeah, we were hearing this morning, I'm not sure if it's confirmed or not, that there was a dog that was attacked and killed by the tiger as well. What do we know about where the tiger came from? We were hearing that a fence was cut. Where was this tiger being kept, that a fence was cut? I would have thought a zoo or, a licensed sanctuary would have a bit more than just a single fence. You cut through with a cable cutter and off you go.
Yeah, Gareth, and unfortunately this facility wasn't on our radar. And up here, especially in Gauteng, you've got a lot of private citizens that are owning tigers. And especially on the East Rand, you'll find tigers housed in the backyards of people's properties. So it's a real big concern because they're hugely dangerous. I mean, they're deadly creatures. So whether we don't know how the fences were cut or who cut the fences or the motives behind it. It's just that the tiger shouldn't be there in the first place.
No, of course.
It's for only humans' entertainment. It's not for the animals' entertainment.
Yeah, it should never have been there in the first place. I understand there was a male, unless that's been updated as well. There was a male along with this female as well. Douglas, when we start talking about people keeping an eye out, no non-trained professional should be approaching this tiger. But I imagine now it's, 32, 33 degrees outside. It's still bright sunny. A tiger and a cat, being a cat, is probably lying under a tree somewhere near a park. They're not going to be running down the road. I imagine once the sun sets, that's where there's probably a better chance of Kitty being found.
Absolutely, yeah. And tigers, although they're not indigenous to South Africa, their camouflage that they have fits in incredibly well with the bush that we've got. Where she did escape from, there's quite a bit of thick bush. There's some nice koppies. So she's got a lot of places where she can take refuge in. So you're not going to see it. And we implore the public not to approach her. What would be ideal is if somebody was in a vehicle and spotted her and they sent a pin location to either the NSPCA or to the Gauteng Nature Conservation Authorities.
Can you quickly give me a number for one of those before I say goodbye, Douglas? I don't want to just say goodbye and no one knows what number to WhatsApp a pin location to. Do you have a number?
They can WhatsApp myself on 082 575
Yep.
0 0241.
0241. I'll read it back. 082 575 0241. Hope I got that right. Douglas, thank you very much. All the best with the search. You let our team know if you see anything. Obviously, we will put that call out as well. If you are in the area where there's now this expected tiger on the loose, just to remind you, it's in Walkerville, south of Johannesburg, last spotted in the area. Please call, or WhatsApp rather, please WhatsApp Douglas on 082 575 0241. Hopefully Kitty comes back safe.